Welcome back. In this part, we are going to study the family of circles. Now, what do we mean by family of circles? So, when a circle intersects with a line or with another circle, then through those point of intersections, there can be many circles that can pass. So, family of circle is a general equation of all those circles. Now, in the later half of this part, we are going to study about what is a radical axis and radical center. Although it's a very rare concept, but again many students leaves this concept, but we do not want to leave it. So the last part or the later half of this we'll study with the radical axis. Thank you. Now we'll start with the last part, that is the family of circles. Suppose that you have one circle like x square plus y square plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c, and then similarly you have one more circle whose g, f and c values are different. So again, as we are talking about family of circles, that means there are two circles and there can be more circles as well, okay, and they are intersecting. So that means that these two circles are intersecting. And the family of circles, now what do we mean by the family of circles passing through the point of intersection of S and S dash? Family of circles, we have introduced this term because from the point of intersection of those two circles, that means those two intersection points, there can be infinite number of circles. There are infinite number of circles that are passing through those two specific points. So again, we don't know that which circle is there. So that is why we collectively call all those circles which passes through those 2 points as family of circle. This can happen like this. Suppose that this is a circle, this is a circle. From these 2 points, there are enormous number of circles that can pass, okay. N number of circles can pass from there. So that is why it has been said that family of circles. The equation is given by s plus lambda times s dash equals to 0, where lambda is a parameter which cannot be equal to minus 1, because if you do s minus s dash, then we know that you will get the common chord. So s plus lambda s dash is equals to 0 is the equation of family of all those circles where lambda cannot be minus 1. Remember this condition, that lambda cannot be minus 1. So this will represent all those circles that are passing. Obviously it's a 2-degree equation, and if you got any one of the condition, if you got any condition over these circles, then by that condition you can calculate the lambda and you can calculate the exact equation of the desired circle. Let's move. Now suppose that you have a straight line in circle. Again there will be intersection and there will be 2 points of intersection, and again there will be infinite number of circles passing. So the equation of all those family of circles will be given by s plus lambda L is equals to 0. Here there is no condition on lambda. Again lambda is a parameter and there is no condition on the lambda. And if there is one more condition on the circle that we desire, that we can calculate this lambda with that extra condition and we can calculate the exact equation of the circle that we want. So s plus lambda L is the equation of circle when circle is intersecting with line. Okay, all those circles that are passing through to these intersection points. The third and the final thing is the equation of family of circles passing through 2 given points. Again, we were saying that those 2 intersection points in our previous cases are the intersection point of 2 curves. Now you have been given straight away 2 coordinates, and you are asked that what is the equation of family of circles. So from these coordinates straight away, the family of circle equation will be given by this, where again lambda is a parameter, and again you can see that x1 y1 and x2 y2 are used in this equation. So with that extra condition you will find the lambda and then you will find the equation of that circle. So the main thing to remember is that from these 2 points or from any 2 point in this universe, infinite number of circles can pass. And again you will have to think that which circle you want out of those infinite circle. That means what is the value of your lambda? That value of your lambda will be given by the extra condition. Okay. Now let's solve a question. The equation of common chord. Common chord is what? Common chord is s minus s dash. S minus s dash is common chord. The equation of common chord is this. One of the circles has the ends of diameter this, and other passes through this point. So this is the extra condition. Okay, find the equation of 2 circles. Okay, so we have that this is the diameter form. This is the diametric point of equation of circle. So let's first find out the value of this equation. Let's first find out this equation. The equation goes like this: x minus 1, x minus 4 plus y minus 3, that means y plus 3, y minus 1 is equals to 0. Okay, that means x square minus 5x plus 4 plus y square plus 2y minus 3 is equals to 0. That means x square plus y square minus 5x plus 2y plus 1 is equals to 0. This is your equation of the given circle whose diametric points we know. Now we need to find out the equation of this S. Okay, actually it is a common chord, but what I can say is that there is one more circle which is passing through intersection point of these two circles. I know this equation, which is x plus, which is L. I know this equation. What I can do is that I can write down, if this is S dash, then I can write S dash is equals to S plus lambda L. This is S, that means my S dash becomes S, that is this equation, x square plus y square minus 5x plus 2y plus 1 plus lambda times x plus 1, x plus y minus 1 is equals to 0. This is your equation of S dash. Again, we know that this is the common chord, but we turned this concept to the family of circle concept. Now we know that this passes through 1 comma 2. That means if I satisfy 1 comma 2 in this, S dash of 1 comma 2, it will become 1 plus 4 minus 5 plus 4 plus 1 plus lambda times 2 plus 1, 3 minus 1 is 2 is equals to 0. That means 8 into 10 minus 5 is 5. So value of lambda is 5 by 2. Okay. Now you can put the value of lambda in here. Okay, you can put the value of lambda here, and you can get the desired equation of circle. Okay, this is our circle. Let's move. Now we'll come to the last concept of this chapter, is radical axis. Radical axis or power line. So radical axis or power line of the two circles is the locus of points at which the tangent drawn to both circles have same length. That means what? Let's say that you have two circles. Obviously there will be some common chord, there will be some common tangents to these two circles. Radical axis bisects these common tangents. Radical axis bisects these common. For example, if this is A, this is O, this is B, then OA is equals to OB. And similarly for this, they bisect the direct common tangents as well as the transverse common tangents. So radical axis is the locus of points at which tangents drawn to both the circles, that means common tangents have same length. So if you draw from O, if you draw the tangents will be having same length. That is what the definition says. Now if S and S0 let's suppose that there are two circles, S and S dash. If they intersect in two real and distinct points, then we know that S minus S dash is common chord. If they touch each other, then it's a common tangent. But if they neither touch nor intersect, then we call it as radical axis. That means this equation or this line which is in between there, this line is radical axis. When the circles are neither touching nor intersecting, then the S minus S dash will give you radical axis. Now radical center. So again I have three circles, that is a system of circles. Suppose S1 minus S2 gives me the radical axis of S1 and S2. S2 minus S3 gives me another radical axis. So this point of intersection of these two radical axes is the radical center. Okay, the point of intersection of radical axis is the radical center. Again there is the third radical axis as well, which is S1 minus S3 or S3 minus S1. So obviously these three radical axes are concurrent, and this point here, this point is radical center. So one concept is radical axis and another is the intersection point of radical axis is radical center. Now let's see a question on this. If a circle this bisects the circumference, again this is a chord case, because it is bisecting the circumference, then we need to show that to this equation, we need to prove this. Now just check one thing. This circle is bisecting the circumference of this circle. That means if this circle, let's say if this is S and if this is S dash, that means this circumference of S dash is bisected by S. Okay, this is S, this is S dash. That means the common chord will pass through the center of S dash. That means the common chord will pass through the point minus a2 comma minus b2. So this is the information that we can get from the question and from the diagram. Now let's solve this question. So again, what I am going to do in order to find the equation of common chord, S minus S dash is equals to 0. That means what I am going to get, if you subtract these equations, you will get x of twice of a1 minus twice of a2 plus y of twice of b1 minus twice of b2 plus c1 minus c2 is equals to 0. Now this equation passes through minus a2 comma minus b2. So let's put these values in place. Minus twice of a2, a1 minus a2, minus twice of b2, b1 minus b2, plus c1 minus c2 is equals to 0. Or if I want to rewrite this equation, then I can say that twice of a2 of a1 minus a2 plus twice of b2 of b1 minus b2 plus c2 minus c1 is equals to 0. I have just multiplied with the negative sign. So hence you can see that we have proved what we wanted to prove. So again, the questions are very simple. It's just that how well you know the concept and how well you can apply it and what amount of information you can get from the figure.
Meanwhile, if you have any doubts, you can log on to askIITians.com and you can go to the discussion board. On this discussion board, you will form a form on the right hand side. Select the category in which category your question falls, post your question and get an answer. Here, the experts of askIITians will answer all your queries within 24 to 48 hours for free. So this brings us to the end of this part. In this part, we have studied that how many circles can drawn from the equation from the intersection of two circles. So we call this as family of circles. We have also studied radical axis. Radical axis is a very small concept, but I hope that you will remember it. So I hope that you have understood this part, and this also brings us to the end of this chapter. So in summary, we have studied what is the definition of circle, what are its different forms of equation. Then we have studied tangents and normals, director circle, chord of contact, pair of tangents, family of circles and radical axes. Now, it is highly likely that if a question is going to come from coordinate geometry, it is going to be mixture of many of the concepts. So you have to study this chapter as well as you have to solve all those questions that are integrated questions that involves different concepts. I hope that you have enjoyed this lecture series, and there are many more lectures of physics, chemistry, maths and bio exclusively available on askIITians.com. So stay tuned with us. Thank you.